very simple. You see me doing that, get yourselves up because the players will be arriving in another couple of minutes and there will be time for game on. Now, when the players are on stage, this is again very, very important. We do ask that not only do you have fun, it's been a party atmosphere here at Lakeside for the past 3 days. We want to continue that. We want you to all have a darty party, but please be respectful of the players when they are playing. We don't mind you standing up if you love the darts, but respect for the players and for the people around you. Sir, if you're standing up, that woman behind you doesn't want to look at your backside, she wants to watch the darts. So, look after the people round about you. Everyone on your feet, enjoy the darts and make sure the players are well respected and well supported. That also means, whilst the matches are on, no throwing of paper planes made of your 180 signs, therefore waving, not for throwing. And please, please, please do not whistle while the players are throwing. Very off-putting for the players, for the officials, for the people watching at home. Nobody likes it. If you can whistle, good for you. No one else needs to know. No whistling, simple as that. Also, if you are going for a cigarette, I've been asked to remind you all the smoking area is over there, not at the front of the building. So if you're having a cigarette, out into the smoking area over there. Thank you very, very much. Now, 5 matches. The first one, Alan Turner against Jeff Springer Jr. Coming your way in a few minutes' time. Have a fantastic night at Lakeside. Thank you. the former Oregon Open semi-finalist from the USA, the Stinger, Jeff Springer Jr. His opponent takes part in his third Lakeside World Championship, the former Swiss Open and Lithuania Open finalist from England, it's Aaron Turner!
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Lakeside for day 3 of the 2024 WDF World Darts Championship, where for the second time today, we have an instalment of England versus the USA. We saw Paula Murphy triumph over Paula Jacklin this afternoon, and Jeff Springer is hoping to become the first American man to get through to round 2 in the men's draw after Kevin Luke's tight loss to Sibrin Heibels in the first match of the day. He's playing against Aaron Turner, promoted to the draw because of withdrawals, so another good opportunity for him to try and build a run. Interestingly, it's a match between two players who've never actually picked up a senior WDF title, which is unusual to see with players coming from all around the world, the top players in their regions, and it could be a very tight contest between Aaron Turner, who's played on this stage before and literally has a coach load of fans. He's only a local boy, Surrey-based, whereas Jeff Springer has come all the way from the States. I'm Dan McCarthy, joined by Andrew Sinclair. And Andrew, I think a lot of viewers might not have seen Jeff Springer before. What kind of player is he and how do you expect him to perform?
Jeff's a very, very capable player. He plays the majority of his darts in the US on the CDC circuit, so not as much of a regular on the WDF tour, but came over for the World Masters. He made the last 32 there. Big power scorer, and he showed in the qualifier that he's got grit and determination as well, coming from 4-2 down to beat Sibrin Geibels, who we saw earlier, and then defeat the Europe Cup singles champion Denny Aldercoulter 6-3 in the final round. So Jeff's got a really good game about him. He's got a nice pace to his game, and yeah, I had a little chat with him while he was practicing, and he was throwing some really good stuff. So just trying to enjoy the moment all the way over here from Everett in Washington on the west coast of America.
Yeah, so it's not as if he's come from New York, where it's 7 hours. It's a long-haul flight.
Absolutely.
The real commitment to come and play on the Lakeside stage. Something that Aaron Turner did last year. And Aaron's big problem in that defeat to Ricky Norman last year was the doubling. His scoring was excellent, scored 3 180s in the first set, but he couldn't finish him off, and it was a disappointing early exit.
100.
But he's made a good start here. Lost the bullseye in the back room, but already making up for it, it seems.
Made a firm connection with the wire, and Aaron's face belied the fact he'd scored a straight ton there. I thought he might have veered into the one.
Yeah, that was an I've just hit 41 face, wasn't it?
101.
Certainly made the strongest start here, Aaron.
Lovely dart at the bull, leaves double 16.
69.
Well, he looked at Jeff Springer's score and thought, I can't go for the bullseye because Jeff on 216 he obviously isn't going to take that out. Percentage play if Jeff was on a finish would be to go for treble 14. That's a terrific start from Aaron Turner. A player who doesn't really arrive into this tournament on the back of great form.
No, he doesn't. No, he's had a few. It's a strange one with Aaron because he plays well in the early parts of tournaments and then he tends to peter out. So the two finals he's got to on the WDF circuit in previous years in Lithuania and Switzerland, those defeats have been pretty one-sided. So I think pacing has been an issue for Aaron in the past, just over the course of long days. But yeah, recently hasn't pulled up too many trees, and on Friday he ran an ADC vault at his local working men's club, Walton-on-Thames, and Aaron actually went out in the group stage. That vault was won by a man you saw earlier, James Beaton. Obviously won earlier, and he won on Friday night as well. Aaron played quite well in the vault. I just think he was in a bit of a tricky group as the draw worked out. But yeah, he certainly started strongly here.
Certainly stronger than Jeff, who hasn't actually played any darts since that World Championship qualifier. So comes into this maybe a little bit cold.
55.
Well, certainly cold. There was an issue where Jeff was out in Washington with the weather, and he was actually without power for 6 days, just over a week before he came to Lakeside. So heating engineer by trade, the Stinger, but he was out in the cold for a while, and been a bit of a cold start so far here. I think compared to when I watched him in the practice room, the thing I'm noticing about his game is that his darts are pitching higher. In the practice room, he was finding the treble and tending to come under the bottom wire. Now it looks like he's perhaps slightly overcompensating, pitching a little bit higher, but that's better.
99.
Gets to a finish first as he seeks to break back, but Aaron Turner will be on a much better one, and that's for certain now.
81. You have to require 160.
A visit that started well, didn't have a happy ending.
That's better from Jeff.
100. Aaron will require 105.
Treble 18.
97. You have to require 64.
Jeff Springer looking to break back straight away. Put that poor first leg behind him. And that's exactly what he's done.
I think you mentioned Aaron's game with Ricky Nauman last year. I know Aaron was incredibly frustrated with that because the year before when he made his debut, he came in at the second round as a replacement on that occasion, and he took on the Scot Jim McEwen. And I mean, Jim's a phenomenal player, and to be honest, Aaron was just beaten by the better man on that day. Aaron played quite well, he put in a respectable performance. It's just Jim was really strong, and Jim, you know, went to the quarterfinals that year and actually had darts to beat Neil Duff. But you know, it just didn't work out. Whereas last year against Ricky, I think Aaron felt he'd lost that game. Rather than the year before he'd been beaten, I think last year he felt as though he should have won, and it got away from him. And you know, Ricky was coming back after a number of health issues and various other things, and maybe just overthought it a little bit. was also on the opening afternoon last year, Aaron, as well. So this time he's seen the tournament take off. He's had James Beaton staying with him. He saw him win earlier. He's got his wife and daughters here watching him today. It might be that different time in the tournament works a little bit better for the man who won the Boys World Masters all the way back in 1997, although he doesn't like me bringing that up.
Is that why you just did?
Yes. He's also, because of the rule changes, he's old enough to play in the World Seniors next year, which puts that Boys World Masters achievement into further context.
Well, I'm not sure he'll like you mentioning that either.
Jeff in the ascendancy here.
43.
Not the treble he wanted to make inroads into that 160 though.
Aaron's darts do lie quite flat, so that's unhelpful, the first one.
96.
He's a stacker on topper kind of player. 117 needed then for Jeff Springer. Down for treble 19.
Not to be.
43.
It's
Aaron require 112.
loose third dart for Jeff.
Could go across to the 18s. No, he decided to stick with treble 20.
28.
Again, the first dart was a real blocker.
Yeah. Both players a little bit ragged in some of their approach play. This is better from Jeff though.
58.
Chance now for Aaron Turner. He may only have one dart at the bull. 14 or treble. Leaves the bullseye. Wide of the mark from Aaron Turner. Jeff Springer will come back.
Jeff requires 16.
2-1 lead.
Looking at double eight. It's been a fairly nervy start from both players. And that's a neat summary of it.
Aaron requires 36.
Will there be sting in the tail?
Well, the hushed atmosphere seemed to help Aaron concentrate. And that's 3 breaks in a row.
I did actually notice on the back of Jeff's shirt, on his collar, there's a little message that says, small in size, but big in boom. Now, I'm not entirely sure what that's related to.
I've never known boom be a unit of measurement before.
But not really bringing the boom so far, sadly, for him. I know his wife Lisa's here as well, and the other American players, Kevin Luke, Paula Murphy, cheering him on as well.
Yeah, the Eagle Eye viewers will have seen them in the walk-on, as well as Aaron's wife Laura, who didn't qualify for Lakeside this year. Dual role in darts these days, not just as a player, but as a commentator as well.
81.
Absolutely. Jeff visibly frustrated with the looseness of that third dart. And yeah, Aaron is a player, you might have noticed it there. He does talk to himself when he plays. And some of his mutterings in that visit were more pleasant to himself than others.
Well, that might have rubbed off on James Beaton, because he was basically delivering a monologue on stage to himself.
100.
It is always a little bit of a challenge when I've marked for some of the chattier players on the tour. You're never entirely sure if it's directed at you or them or their opponent. And yeah, I think I've got better at noticing when they're not calling me things they shouldn't be.
Well, Aaron Turner's got a choice here. He might go treble 15 with Jeff way back on 252. The only thing is now he's got to burn a dart to get to a double, but Jeff's scoring's been way off in the early stages.
That's much better though.
123.
Jeff's scoring was off, put some pressure on, but Aaron Turner, 47 points, separate him and the first set.
Yeah, there is a slight rightward drift with Jeff, certainly in his third dart.
Can you use that as a guide? Of course he can, slides it right next to it. Nicely taken out by Aaron Turner.
Second set, first game, it's Aaron to throw first. Game on.
Has won one set in each of his previous 2 appearances at Lakeside. We'll be hoping he can win another one and book his place in round 2 of the tournament. Winner of this one will take on the number 14 seed, the Daddy, Barry Copeland. Another one like Jeff, who qualified via the Last Chance Saloon in Hungary.
Yeah, and it was a quirk of the rankings where on the race table, which determined the field here, Barry hadn't actually picked up that many points. But on the world rankings, Barry's final at the 2022 World Masters was still on there, which is why he is a seeded player, but he would not have qualified without winning that Lakeside qualifier, which, having watched that game on, he was certainly in jubilant mood when he pinned the winning double. I won't repeat what he shouted when he won, on account of this being a PG broadcast, but it was certainly entertaining.
Yeah, we'll wait until after the watershed, I think. First of 5 games taking place in this evening session. The next one is probably our headline act, the 4-time Ladies World Champion Lisa Ashton in action against Sophie the Trophy McKinley, just 18 years old, playing in both the women's and girls tournament, so she's got a very busy week ahead of her. All English clash in round 2 of the men's, Cliff Pryor and Scott Walters. Our first round 2 match from the women's tournament, all New Zealand clash between Nicole Renault and Wendy Harper, and then Mike Gillett and Kai Smith in round 1 end the evening session.
Yeah, it should be a fantastic night of action. And Aaron, of course, his brother-in-law, Mike Gillett, in that last game. Aaron will be looking to set the way for the Turner family.
95.
Whereas it was a triple disappointment for the Turner family last year, with Laura, Mike and Aaron all losing in the first round.
100. Aaron required 20.
Turner looking at double 10.
It's a horrible dart.
No.
Well, you know what, it's probably better that he bust in that situation than leave the madhouse. Absolutely. Where there is literally no margin for error.
It's going to have to be 20 for Bull. Ooh, double 5.
75. Aaron required 20.
Well, the chances that Jeff's getting are few and far between. He missed 5 for a hold in the first set. There hasn't been much else. Aaron Turner gets his nose in front in this second set.
Yeah, Jeff's just not been able to find any real consistent power scoring, and when he has had opportunities, he's not been able to convert on them. It's not been a classic by any means so far, but perhaps Aaron's greater experience telling.
26. 99.
There's quite a few moving parts in the Springer action, isn't there? He's a twizzler. Twizzles the dart in his hands. A lot more straightforward from Aaron Turner.
Yeah. 60.
He's got a slightly
133.
Slightly challenging grip there, Jeff Springer, but certainly seems a lot more at ease in this leg. Back-to-back visits of 99, followed by 133.
100.
To leave him on the biggest finish of them all.
Not seen one of these yet. We're not going to see one now. Nevertheless, it's a spectacular setup. Aaron Turner will probably concede that this leg is over, especially after that dart.
Yeah, this has been much more of the Springer that I saw play so well in Budapest, where he booked his place here. But those darts, those finishes, have been the story of this game for Jeff. Just unable to convert, but Aaron isn't going to put any real pressure on.
81.
Well, there was a strong argument for Jeff Springer to maybe go for single 2 with the last dart. Said he's left 9. Takes out 9. Jeff Springer has parity in this second set. Been steady enough from Aaron Turner so far, averaging 76. Jeff quite some way down off the rolling average that we've got for him. Expect him to be more of a low 80s player than low 70s.
Yeah. There can be, with Aaron's throw, there can be sometimes, you saw it creep in a little bit there in a couple of visits in this set, a tendency to push the darts a lot more. The action is, you know, a nice steady action, but there can be a tendency for, you see that back arm go up, and there is more of a push, which sometimes can be of great benefit, but sometimes can be his undoing. So it's worth keeping an eye on, especially if Jeff is able to, you know, perhaps take this to a deciding set.
Well, if you do start pushing the dart, you tend to start bringing your shoulder in, and that's something you should try and avoid.
Yeah. Becoming quite pronounced now. Has been a very steady scoring leg for Aaron, but just a watch out, I would say. Come down for 19 to leave the finish.
97. Aaron required 106.
Treble 18. Double 16, the biggest checkout of the match.
74. If you require 132.
Maybe needs something like this to spark him into life. That looks a very inviting guide.
Oh, yes.
And he'll be able to use it for the bullseye.
94. Aaron requires 32.
Turner back down for double 16. That's quite wayward. That was pinpoint. Aaron Turner finds himself one leg away from a place in round 2. One leg away from his very first Lakeside win.
Yeah. This has been a very effective workmanlike display from Aaron. He is capable of some excellent darts. He's a former Dutch Open quarter-finalist, and you don't get that far in the biggest tournament, Open tournament in the world, without having to win a number of games and beat a number of very, very good players. And it's nice for him that he's getting to show more of his game on this stage, which he's not done in previous years. And he'll know, with that win under his belt, if that's how it transpires, he'll have got that monkey off his back, so to speak, at the third time of asking, and will be able to play with more freedom and fluidity against the daddy.
Freedom and fluidity just like that. could be a very sobering and quick exit for Jeff Springer Jr.
He's got quite a baby-faced demeanour, the man from Washington, but he does look rather disappointed.
83.
Jeff really needs a couple of big trebles to make a dent in this 2-1-1. There's one, there's another.
123. 111.
He's in a slightly better position than Turner, but he could finish this off with tops.
91.
Well, Springer has had the scare, has to take out 88. Needs to go over to the 18s. Needs to hit the bit in the middle.
57.
Crowd raucous in their support of Aaron Turner, who can call himself a Lakeside winner at the third time of asking. A solid as a rock performance from Azza, who beats the man from Washington. Early disappointment for Jeff Springer Jr., but Aaron Turner will feel mightily relieved that he's got that monkey off his back, and he's going to face Barry Copeland in round 2. Straight sets with Aaron Turner, 2-0 against Jeff Springer Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, showing appreciation for the man of the USA, Jeff Springer Jr. And marching on into the second round, Aaron Turner! Well, ladies and gentlemen, a quick turnaround on the stage, and we will be back in 5 minutes' time for our next match. Lisa Ashton against Sophie McKinley. 5 minutes. Thank you.
The 46th annual Winmore Fleetwood Memorial Las Vegas Open will be held from January the 17th till the 19th. Sin City welcomes you to come and play in the entertainment capital of the world. Men's and women's champions win places at the 2025 World Championships. The Romanian Darts Festival is held from January the 24th till 26th. Join the party in Bucharest, register to play by Wednesday 22nd of January and kickstart the new WDF ranking season in historical Bucharest. The Toto Dutch Open Darts is held from January the 30th till February the 2nd. Registration is open until January the 15th. The Toto Dutch Open Darts is by far the largest darts party in the world that you should not miss. And the men's and women's champions go to Lakeside in December 2025. The Isle of Man International Darts Festival is held from March 6th to 9th. A triple header of darting fun on the Isle of Man with the Silver and Bronze Classic and Masters and the Unranked Open. The Denmark Open and Masters are held from May 2nd to 4th. One of the best run tournaments on the calendar in the beautiful city of Esbjerg, the Golden Denmark Open provides the champions a direct qualification into the 2025 Lakeside World Championships. Along with the Silver Denmark Masters, it's a tournament weekend to look forward to. The Toronto Area Open is held from May 30th till June the 1st. It will be the biggest WDF tournament in Canada in 2025, with the winners of the 501 singles directly qualifying for the Lakeside World Championships. Come join North America's best dart shooters in Toronto. The Swiss Open and Helvetia Open tournaments are held from May 30th till June the 1st. One of the longest running tournaments in Europe invites you to join them in between the most beautiful surroundings. The Swedish Open and Masters takes place from 15th to 17th of August. A popular tournament for many of Europe's best arrowsmiths, the double silver weekend always provides great entertainment. The Latvian Open and Riga Open are held from October 17th to 19th. One of the biggest tournament weekends in the Baltic region is near the end of the 2025 WDF season. An excellent chance to pick up your much-needed points in this silver and bronze weekend. For more information on each of these tournaments, go to the link in the description. A special thanks to our tournament sponsors and partners, Mission, Blaze, Quiff, Great Game, Dart Connect, L-Style and MasterCooler.com.
competition here at the 2024 Mission WDF Lakeside World Championship. And we welcome to the stage a young lady who makes her way through the Lakeside World Championship qualifiers. the reigning Hungarian Masters champion from Scotland, Sophie the Trophy McKinley. Champion, 3 times the WDF World Masters Champion, 4 times the Lakeside World Champion, the Lancashire Rose, Lisa Ashton!
A Lakeside legend returns. The 4-time champion Lisa Ashton gets her campaign underway. And it seems very strange to see her as an unseeded player. But injury problems mean that she's not really been able to play as much darts as she'd like. She's had a troublesome shoulder problem. But she's hoping that will be firmly behind her. In many ways, the nightmare draw for young Sophie McKinley, just 18 years old, playing here in the ladies' tournament via the last chance qualifier in Budapest and in the girls' tournament. So she is set for an incredibly busy week. And she will probably look up to someone like Lisa as inspiration, a player who has inspired many young girls around the darting world. 4 times a champion here, the first woman to ever win a PDC Tour card. She also got to the semi-finals of the World Seniors Championship, losing to Colin McGarry. She's had some decent results this year. The star maybe doesn't shine quite as brightly as it did 6 years ago, but make no mistake, she is an incredibly dangerous player still. One half of the weekly Dartscast podcast, Lal Moss, has come to join me for this one. And Lal, Lisa's obviously a legend, but Sophie's more than capable of giving her a game.
Absolutely. Good evening, everyone. And Sophie making her debut at the Lakeside tonight. She's going to be in 2 World Championships over the course of the week. She's also going to be in the Girls World Championship next weekend in the semi-finals, but she's come through the qualifiers for the Women's World Championship, and yeah, it's very much a case of experience versus youth here. Sophie, 18 years old, making that first time on the stage playing tonight, and Lisa, yeah, what she's done in the game is incredible. 4 world titles in 5 years. She's dominated the women's game for some time, and yeah, she's a crowd favourite, that's for sure.
It's pretty much a pointless task to list all the tournaments that she's won. Lisa, she's been around the sport for a number of years now. She's seen it, done it, won everything. And the pressure doesn't really fall on her shoulders as much these days, obviously with Beau Greaves and Eileen de Graaf, players in the seeded section. So she doesn't come here necessarily as an underdog, but the focus isn't on her all the time.
Yeah, and I think that's how she likes it as well. I've got to know Lisa over the last year. She actually plays in the Astley Bridge Darts League for the Crofters. She gets to play in the men's Section 1. There was a vote to get her into the league, and they all voted for her to play, and yeah, she's been fantastic for the team. They're top of the league with 1 game to go next week.
83, Sophie Uruguay 151.
Decent start though from Sophie, down to a finish after 12 darts.
And Lisa not on a finish 163, so plenty of time here for Sophie to try and break Lisa in this opening leg.
Sophie has already shown her capabilities on the senior circuit. A winner in Hungary against Greta Takawa, who we saw yesterday, and she's looking for the first leg here.
14.
Doesn't go, so this is a chance for Lisa Ashton to hold throw in this opening leg, and those misses could be costly for Sophie.
54.
She goes outside on the double 12. Sophie getting another go to break the throw.
They could have been costly, but they weren't. And that is a confident start from Sophie. It would be so easy for someone in her position to be overawed by the occasion, because this will be the biggest stage she's ever played on, and she's playing against someone here who's won 4 titles, so it's a bit of a poisonous mix if you're not of the right mental fortitude.
Yes, a very daunting task, isn't it? But from the early stages here, on the outside anyway, she looks very calm and composed. I don't know how she's feeling inside. We'll find that out after, but at the moment, she's looking very calm up there. And yeah, to break Lisa in the opening leg, she couldn't have asked for a much better start than that.
81.
It is the number 7 seed, Irina Armstrong, who awaits the winner.
Yeah, an interesting one. That game's going to be played on Thursday night, and if Lisa does come through this, that means that she's going to miss that last game for the Crofters darts team in Bolton, so I might have to step in and play in her place next week if she does come through.
100.
Sorry, lads.
If you ever want a dictionary definition of the word downgrade.
That's a like-for-like replacement, I'm saying. But a long way to go, and as I mentioned, Sophie playing in 2 World Championships, don't want to get too far ahead, but if she does have a deep run in this event, she could have a very busy second weekend at Lakeside, playing 2 semi-finals on the Saturday, 2 on the Sunday. It could be a long weekend for her.
100. Sophie Uruguayo 120.
She's a long way in front.
Looking for the Shanghai finish tops.
80.
Just above, but she will come back.
Lisa not got going at all.
Tops again. 2-0 to Sophie McKinley, holds throw, and now looking for one more leg to get that opening set on the board.
Tops could be her best friend in this match.
Certainly is at the moment. She'll be happy with that, not having to chase around the board on the doubles. We saw that earlier in the game with James Beaton and Bradley Kirk, a shaky start on the doubles, but yeah, pinning them as quickly as she has done, that's going to give her plenty of confidence.
55.
Lisa will be looking to correct what went wrong last year. She missed a match dart for a place in the final against Eileen de Graaf. It was a dart at the bullseye, a 1-2-6 finish. And ultimately, de Graaf, the Dutch woman, was too strong for her, nicked the last set.
Yeah, I think it was great to see Lisa back at the Lakeside last year. You mentioned she's had her injury problems, but also what she's done in the game as well, which probably goes under the radar. I know she likes being under the radar, but being that first player to win a tour card at Q School, first female player, she's had a lot of success over the years playing on the tour, and yeah, she's back playing the Lakeside this year for the 2nd year in a row, and yeah, not the start she would have wanted here, and not going to leave a finish after this visit either.
Not the greatest board management from Lisa, because even a big treble would have left the bogey number there.
Yeah, I think Owen Binks, the referee, will be having a word with her about the board management after this.
And Lisa will quite rightly ignore every word he says.
I do as well. Coming downstairs here, finds some luck with the 19, leaves the 120. But Sophie will be looking to leave this handy if she does get a chance.
60. Lisa Uruguayo 120.
Lisa needs to get going sharpish.
That's a start. Top she wants. A fist pump as well. Turns to her supporters as well. I know she's got one of her daughters, Danielle, in the crowd watching. She's a very good player in her own right as well. She's beaten me a few times, so I've had enough of playing her. I play her at pool instead. I've got better luck with that. And her older daughter was as well, Lindsay Ashton, a very good player. She's played on the women's series. I think they've played against each other, Lindsay and Lisa, and she's got a long history playing county darts as well. I've listened to that story from her.
Has Lindsay beaten you as well?
I've not had the pleasure of playing her yet, so I'm unbeaten against Lindsay. I've lost to Lisa and Danielle though, so I need to complete the set. And worth giving a mention for Lisa's future son-in-law, Rhys Griffin, as well, a PDC Tour card holder. Just won the qualifiers for the World Championship. He's going to be making his debut at Ali Pali in a few weeks, so yeah, give him a shout out. I'm looking forward to seeing how he gets on at Ali Pali.
43.
Yeah, it's turned out to be a pretty good debut year on the PDC Pro Tour for Rhys.
Yeah, he's the king of the qualifiers is my nickname for him. I know he's looking for some nicknames at the moment. Not quite decided on which one yet, but we've had a lot of fun coming up with them on his Facebook page. Yeah, it's been a good laugh.
140.
Well, this is no laughing matter for Lisa Ashton, because Sophie McKinley could go 1-0 up. Won't do this time, but there's a nice assuredness about Sophie's performance, and she is going to come back for tops.
Yeah, and based on those first couple of legs, it's the double that she'd want to have a go at with 3 darts in hand.
94.
Leaves it handy, leaves double 12, but Sophie McKinley here to take this first set on tops. And she gets it second half. What a start that is for the 18-year-old. Takes the opening set against the throw as well. And now see if she can hold throw in this second set and book her place in that second round.
She was just put off by a fly there, but other than that, there's just been a real nonchalance about her display. And that seems to be a theme with the young girls that are coming through. So we know that Beau Greaves is just about the most laid-back character you can meet. Paige Pauling doesn't give much away on the hockey. You've got Sophie. There's such a calmness about them.
These youngsters nowadays, it's mind-blowing really. They go up there on the stage with zero fear. And look at this.
140.
Well, as it stands, Sophie's well on course to record the highest average in the women's championship so far. Current holder of that is the Czech qualifier Jitka Cicerova with 77.
43.
Yeah, she was very impressive the other day. I think her first 9 average was in the high 90s, which, you know, if she can keep that going, she's going to be a force for everyone in this competition.
Yeah, if she could keep that going and tidy up the doubles, then who knows how far she could go. But Sophie's average right now, 85. No mean feat. I mean, we're all
79.
looking forward to seeing what Beau can do, whether she can become a 3-time Lakeside champion. Should still be one behind Lisa.
140.
It's a good visit there from Lisa against the throw, getting down to that 120 again. She had a dart at that earlier in the game, and she's going to get another go at it to break Sophie in this first leg of the second set.
120.
She's done this already.
Moves across the hockey.
80.
Just above.
It could have been a double Shanghai.
Will she come back? Needs a treble here. Just goes under, so Lisa Ashton is going to come back with 3 darts at tops to break. And get back on track really in this game. Gets it with the first dart.
Well, we might as well just keep the camera permanently on tops because all 5 legs have been won on it.
Yeah, they don't fancy going for any other double, it looks like at the minute. And fair enough, if you can leave tops and hit it every time, no point going around the board, is there?
85.
Sophie straight back in that treble, just going astray with that last dart. But yeah, it's been a very confident start for her in this World Championship. And yeah, to get that first set, okay, she's just lost that leg, but plenty of time for her to regroup, and she's well in this game.
85.
for another treble, keeping herself in this leg.
60.
We know what Lisa can do as well. Her power scoring when she gets on a real roll is something to behold. I've seen it quite a few Thursdays in the local team as well. The amount of 100s, 140s back to back is very good going.
Well, you mentioned power scoring. Lisa was the first female player to hit a top-plus average on TV. Did that against Aaron Beanie in the UK Open 3 years ago.
An absolute legend, Aaron Beanie, the Pierre Cardin polo shirt he wore when he got his tour card at Q School. That is gone down in darts folklore, that has. And hopefully we'll get to see Aaron back playing soon as well. I know he's had his injury problems as well. So, yeah, if you're listening, Aaron, get back on that hockey. We want to see you playing.
45. So we require 91.
This for a break back.
Great
Double
first
top,
start.
of course.
71.
We've had an attempt at another double other than tops, and Sophie McKinley is going to come back for that double 10. She's going to get another 3 darts at it, and
26.
Lisa not able to put the pressure on there, so this is a chance to break.
And probably the worst dart she's thrown all game, the first 2.
Yeah, you didn't expect this really, these misses on the doubles, considering how well she's been doing, but she's going to have plenty of time to pin this.
Has to go back down for 19s.
Yeah.
39. So we require 10.
Not happy with that first dart.
Nor the second.
So you require 160.
What a time to pull this finish off. A 160 on tops. That's all the legs have been finishing on tops. Not going to go this time though.
60. So you require 4.
All thrown darts, but none of them landing in the treble.
Double 2. Gets the second dart. And that's a break straight back for Sophie McKinley. Ties up this second set at 1-all.
Well, that's probably the edgiest we've seen of Sophie, and she's still come away winning the leg.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a positive sign.
Yeah, that's important, isn't it? I mean, you could have gave Lisa another couple of visits there, and if she would have pinned it, then it's a very different story, isn't it? 2-0 up in this set, and yeah, we could have been going to that third set as quickly as we know it.
60.
Yeah, not quite finding that scoring at the moment, Lisa, and she's going to have to find it soon.
She's played in 11 World Championships and only lost in round 1 once.
Wow.
That was in 2019 against Mikuru Suzuki.
She ended up doing pretty well in that tournament as well, winning it. As a very big outsider, I remember going into that. Not many people knew the name Mikuru Suzuki, but a week later, she was the world champion and ended up winning it back-to-back, beating Lisa in the final in 2020. I think that was the last time Lisa's been to a world championship final.
100.
Steady stuff here though from Lisa.
Needed another treble after that loose one in the single 3.
Yeah, it's good board management there though from Sophie. 519s would have left the big fish, the 170. A couple of trebles and a single would have left the 132, but that second dart going in the 3 put paid to those plans.
You don't see many young players these days who struggle with the numbers.
Yeah.
It's almost programmed into them automatically.
Yeah, such a big part of the game now. It can give you such an edge.
98. So we require 86.
Well, she's not going to finish this on tops, but she's going to need to find a treble 17. Not going to get a dart at a double.
35.
So we could have our third break in as many legs in this set if Lisa can pin this 48. And she does.
Scrappy from Sophie and tidy from Lisa.
Yeah, she's digging in, and maybe this is the experience coming to the fore for Lisa Ashton, being able to grind out the win here. Shaking her head there, but she has got that break, and now if she can hold here, the first hold of the set, we're going to go all the way to that third set.
100.
looks like she's picked up the pace a little bit, Lisa, there the last few visits. Starting to find that treble with the first dart, which obviously helps follow the darts in.
51.
Well, when she was at her best, she was not just one of the quickest ladies players, one of the quickest players around.
Yes, it's a great sight to behold when she's in full flow. The 180s are firing in, the big checkouts as well. Yeah, when she's at the top of her game, there's very few that can live with her.
40.
It's a scrappy start to this leg for Sophie McKinley. Lisa's got plenty of time here.
55.
Needs to find a big visit now to get herself back in the leg and back in the set. Another steady visit for Ashton, gets herself down to a finish, and she's going to have at least 6 darts to pin this 86, get it out of the way and take us to that third set.
100. Lisa, you require 86.
Been a definite off leg from Sophie. No reason for Lisa to try and go for the bullseye. No need to take that risk.
Yeah, very wise there from Lisa, leaving that 32 that she hit in the last leg.
60.
And now she comes back with 3 clear darts in hand to level this match up at 1-all.
And level up she does. Much more ruthless from Lisa Ashton in that second set. 3 from 5 on the doubles. You can't really complain at that.
Yeah, that's a good response. And to lose the first set, come back and win the second set. She's going to be the favourite now, but I don't think you can write off Sophie McKinley, because if she can produce the form that she produced in that first set, this really could go all the way to the fifth and final leg.
And it would be a harsh lesson considering how well she played in the first set, but sometimes at a young age you've got to have these harsh lessons dealt to you.
Definitely, yeah. Regardless of how this game ends up playing out for Sophie McKinley, the experience she'll have gained from playing on the stage tonight is going to give her such an advantage going into that Girls' World Championship next weekend. I know she's got the defending champion Aurora Focusato, who won it last year, but yeah, to have played on the stage already this week is going to help her, that's for sure. Great find with that last dart. Gets herself down to a finish first.
91.
A nice pick up there from Lisa Ashton to leave herself a straight ton. And she will get a go at it as well.
80.
No sign that Sophie's losing her composure, but she's losing her range. It's quite a tentative go at tops and then misses the board with the third dart.
Yeah, that's not ideal, so McKinley to break on her favourite at double top.
Well, we speak quite regularly about how players' darts behave in the board, and a shot of 60 is quite a good one for Sophie because the darts don't really stick up.
Yeah, we've seen in recent years the flatty come into darts where players try and lay the dart down, but yeah, Sophie's not someone that needs to try and do the flatty.
43.
As you can see from the way she grips it, she holds it near the front, so that's why it does lay fairly flat in the board.
Yeah, they look very good in the board there. Nice little 140, and she's just broken the throw, and to get a couple of trebles there, she's put herself in a good position to double her lead. Finds the treble with the last dart, but up against it in this set now, Lisa Ashton.
60.
No trebles there for McKinley, so the door is open if Lisa can pile in a big score here. There she does.
140.
Nice 140. Not quite down to a finish yet, but right back in the leg.
It's a real test of nerve for Sophie McKinley.
123.
Yeah, she's won an awful lot of tournaments in the youth system. She started winning on the senior side of things, but this game tonight in a World Championship at the Lakeside,
100.
a completely new experience for her.
75.
Double 12. Double 6.
Didn't want that.
No score.
Bust the score with a single 13. So this is a chance to get us level in sets and legs.
Well, that could be costly.
54. Sophie requires 75.
She gets another chance. Perhaps it's better that she missed the treble because you know where she wants to put it.
35. Lisa, you require 24.
This has got to go. And it does. Makes the most of that opportunity, Lisa Ashton. Gets us back level 1-all in this last set. And yeah, seems easy to say because we've had a lot of breaks of throw, but 2 holds of throw now, and Lisa's booking her place in that second round.
41.
Punishing that opening score of 41 from Lisa with a ton.
60.
That's 6 darts without a treble to start this leg. Not what Lisa Ashton would have wanted after getting that break back and taking control of the game again. She's given away the advantage straight away.
100.
Another steady ton there for McKinley.
94.
Sophie hoping that this doesn't turn out to be a nightmare day for the Scots after Lorraine Hyde's exit, hands of Mayumi Uchi.
Yeah, that was a game that went right down to the wire this afternoon. I really weren't sure which way that one was going to go, but Mayumi Uchi getting herself through to that next round. And it looks like at the moment it could be McKinley going through. Another ton there. She's down to a finish first.
Lisa get to a better one.
92.
The answer is yes.
Sophie require 141.
Treble, treble and double needed. Single 5 not needed.
No, it never is.
45.
Not the best setup either from McKinley, so Ashton with a chance to go ahead in this, the deciding set. Needs to find a treble 20 from somewhere, and she does. What a dart that is, double 18 for a 116 to go a leg away from the second round.
80.
It almost deserved the finish for how good that second dart was.
That was impressive, and as is that.
Well, that is pure quality from Sophie McKinley.
Yeah, we didn't see much of a reaction there, but you can see that gave her a bit of a come on. I can do this now. I've got that break, and now you're throwing for that place in the second round. She'll just be looking for one more good leg to knock out the 4-time world champion.
60.
Good find with that last dart.
This will be another test of where Sophie's mind's at.
Yeah.
Because the balance of power is in her hands.
Yeah, she's got the advantage at the moment. She can find a couple of trebles here. She can't. So Ashton has got to start firing in these trebles now. That's not what she needs. Might have to look downstairs here to find a treble.
44.
Comes up dry.
21.
What a recovery that was from that second dart going into the one to find the treble 20. She's on a finish.
26.
Well, Lisa's got every right to panic now.
Yeah, plenty of time here for McKinley to set this up, try and leave her favourite double tops, and what a debut this would be for the 18-year-old from Scotland to knock out one of the greats of the Lakeside in Lisa Ashton. Needs to fill it up.
140.
That could be the parting shot from Lisa Ashton. Accidental bullseye. But Sophie McKinley leaves double 6.
53. Lisa, you require
That was pretty wild.
One match dart has come and gone. Will she get another chance? Well, it's still on. Treble 18 for the ball. The shot's off. 86. She's going to look for that treble 18 to leave double 16. Can't find it. So this is the chance then.
34.
3 clear darts for Sophie McKinley.
12.
Double 3.
No score. Lisa, you require 74.
When you want to close out a match in the World Championship, you don't want to do it on double 6 and double 3. You want to do it on something like double 16, which Lisa does.
What a finish. That is all those years of experience for Lisa Ashton there. Coming to the full. She survives the match darts, and we are going all the way in this first round tie. Will it be experience of Lisa Ashton, or will it be the youth of Sophie McKinley that takes this final leg?
That could be a devastating blow for Sophie.
100.
Nice steady ton to kick off this deciding leg for Ashton.
100.
McKinley replies in kind with a ton of her own.
100.
They're trading tons. There could be nothing in it.
60.
Can't find a treble though with that second visit.
60.
Lisa not finding a treble there. It's getting nervy now. But she has got an advantage of a ton.
85.
Good pick up with the last dart there for McKinley.
60.
Edging their way towards the finish line. There's no big scores in this deciding leg yet. Could there be one here though?
85.
Needed a straight ton, really. 156, one of the more makeable checkouts in that range.
And it is going to be Ashton who is going to have a first shot at a finish in this decider. What is she going to leave?
65.
Goes the ball route to leave a 116.
Yeah, good board management. Means that she won't require the ball for 116, unless she hits treble 5, of course.
It could happen.
85.
But here we go. Ashton, 116. Missed it earlier. Can she get it this time? Can't get the big number.
84.
You could hear the collective groan as Lisa Ashton missed the big number. Double 7 for Sophie McKinley. 5 match darts.
Lisa, you require 32.
Lisa's not had one yet.
This is her chance to get over the line. Double 12. Over to double 6.
20.
She's had her chance and it's come and gone.
Sophie, you require 40.
It's been so tense in this last set.
8.
But it is a triumph of youth over experience. The 4-time Lakeside champion is dumped out at the first round, and Sophie McKinley, aged just 18, has scored one of the biggest wins of her young career. What a performance from the Scot. She goes into round 2 to face Irina Armstrong, and she will be one to watch out for.
Ladies and gentlemen, an absolute magnificent match. Let's hear it first of all for Lisa Ashton. Fryer against Scott Walters.
The 46th annual Winmore Fleetwood Memorial Las Vegas Open will be held from January the 17th till the 19th. Sin City welcomes you to come and play in the entertainment capital of the world. Men's and women's champions win places at the 2025 World Championships. The Romanian Darts Festival is held from January the 24th till 26th. Join the party in Bucharest, register to play by Wednesday 22nd of January and kickstart the new WDF ranking season in historical Bucharest. The Toto Dutch Open Darts is held from January the 30th till February the 2nd. Registration is open until January the 15th. The Toto Dutch Open Darts is by far the largest darts party in the world that you should not miss. And the men's and women's champions go to Lakeside in December 2025. The Isle of Man International Darts Festival is held from March 6th to 9th. A triple header of darting fun on the Isle of Man with the Silver and Bronze Classic and Masters and the Unranked Open. The Denmark Open and Masters are held from May 2nd to 4th. One of the best run tournaments on the calendar in the beautiful city of Esbjerg, the Golden Denmark Open provides the champions a direct qualification into the 2025 Lakeside World Championships. Along with the Silver Denmark Masters, it's a tournament weekend to look forward to. The Toronto Area Open is held from May 30th till June the 1st. It will be the biggest WDF tournament in Canada in 2025, with the winners of the 501 singles directly qualifying for the Lakeside World Championships. Come join North America's best dart shooters in Toronto. The Swiss Open and Helvetia Open tournaments are held from May 30th till June the 1st. One of the longest running tournaments in Europe invites you to join them in between the most beautiful surroundings. The Swedish Open and Masters takes place from 15th to 17th of August. A popular tournament for many of Europe's best arrowsmiths, the double silver weekend always provides great entertainment. The Latvian Open and Riga Open are held from October 17th to 19th. One of the biggest tournament weekends in the Baltic region is near the end of the 2025 WDF season. An excellent chance to pick up your much-needed points in this silver and bronze weekend. For more information on each of these tournaments, go to the link in the description. A special thanks to our tournament sponsors and partners, Mission, Blaze, Quiff, Great Game, Dart Connect, L-Style and MasterCooler.com.
We return to the men's competition on the second round here at the Mission WDF Lakeside World Championship. We welcome back to this man enjoying his Lakeside World Championship debut, the former Spartanburg Darts Masters and reigning Talent Open champion, the game, Scott Walters!
return to round 2 of the Men's World Championship, where Cliff Pryor is looking to do what Danny Porter, Martin Turner and Edwin Torbjornsson couldn't, and that is win on the stage as a seeded player. It's been a good couple of years for Cliff Pryor. He's not been playing WDF darts for that long, truth be told. And as our MC Anthony Dundas mentioned, he's a Welsh Classic champion. That was a silver ranked tournament, and he's accumulated enough points to enter at this stage. And he's playing his good mate and sometime roomie Scott Walters. It was a slugfest in round 1 for him against another debutant, Craig Brown from New Zealand. Not the performance he'd have wanted, but he got the result he wanted. So he's simply got to put that behind him and focus on this game going forward. He's opted for a fresh colour scheme, maybe to get Friday night's match out of his memory. I've no question that he will play better against someone who's probably going to push him more in the form of Cliff Pryor. And Walters does have that game under his belt. How much do you think that'll aid his cause going forward, Andrew?
Look, I think, Scott will be open about the fact, as a winning performance goes, it can't get much worse for him than it did on Friday night. He admitted to being very nervous on Friday, and that's natural. It's a big stage, it's a daunting stage, there's a lot of history, it does affect players. So in the last game, Sophie McKinley was completely unfazed. Scott was at the other end, but I think now he's got that win, he'll hopefully be a bit more fluid and more of his natural game. But actually, this isn't Cliff's first time on the Lakeside stage. He's never played in a World Championships here or a World Masters here, but back in the day when Holston used to sponsor the World Championships, they used to run a sort of a competition during the day, and Cliff actually played on stage during that Holston competition. So in a roundabout way, he does have Lakeside stage experience, albeit not quite to the same scale and under the same bright lights as he is now, a man from Sussex.
Do quite like the Cliff Pryor shirts. The knight on horseback. I think one of the reasons why Scott Walters may have been phased is because he was such a heavy favourite for the game against Craig Brown. Maybe that played on his mind. Yeah,
I think those games where, every player always believes they're going to win going into a game, but I think when you assume that you're going to win and then it's not clicking and you're not under as much pressure as you might be, it can get on top of you a little bit. Whereas sometimes, if you have a ropey leg and then the other person wins it, you just reset and go again from 501, and it doesn't drag your average down in the way that we saw with Scott on Friday. Not a very auspicious start for him in this game. Hoped he would be on sharper form, but struggling to stay straight and true so far. Bit of a darting disaster so far from Scott, down to 287 after 5 visits.
Needs to find his scoring range quickly, otherwise the memories of Friday's game will be flooding back and how he underperformed despite winning.
Absolutely. And I think it's really tough for Scott as well, because for a lot of people this might be the first time that they're seeing him in action, unless they've seen him on his appearances in the Moda Super Series previously. And the way he played on Friday is not a reflection of the ability he's shown, and it's not a reflection of how he's performed on the WDF circuit, a multiple-time quarter-finalist in tournaments, been to a number of semis as well, and won 2 titles. So there is a capable player in there. It's not clicking for him completely on this stage at the moment.
There'll be few players who've racked up as many air miles as Scott over the years. Ticking off each country in Europe, it seems. He's looking to tick off 107. 88 left. up for the Madhouse.
2. Shot to bar 56.
It's a scruffy hold of throw, but it's a hold of throw. That's the most important thing.
Absolutely. See Cliff here. Cliff's first real WDF events were in 2023 when he got to the final of the Welsh Open, and yeah, he lost in that final to Martin Turner. It was sort of like, okay, maybe I can do this. And then later in the year, a semi-final at the gold-ranked Irish Open put him in a good spot for this year. And then Cliff did incredibly well at the UK-based tournaments. And finally, after a number of final near misses in Antwerp and deep runs in other England tournaments, he got over the line in the Welsh Classic, beat Carl Wilkinson in that final. Wasn't a classic for both players. I think they both were quite nervy on that occasion, but yeah, Cliff finally got the win, and he had some really impressive results, you know, towards the back end of the qualification period for Lakeside semis down at Chelsea, British Open weekend, and of course a title in Wales as well. So played some good stuff, Cliff, and I think he will surprise a few people this week if he can find his form.
These two are in the same little section of the draw as the number 5 seed Peter Machin, and going forward they could face Shane McGurk in the quarter-final, and they will if Shane continues to play as he does.
Yeah, it was an absolutely dazzling performance from Shane earlier. Pretty sure it was a performance for the record books. 9 from 9 on the doubles in a straight sets win over Edwin Torbjornsson, who, to be fair, didn't do an awful lot wrong, but just was blown away by an incredible performance from the man from Monaghan, who's actually, as we speak, is on a flight home because he's got to go back to work tomorrow and Tuesday. And then he'll be back here in action on Wednesday evening when he'll play Brandon Weening or Jun Matsuda. So, yeah, busy weekend for Shane.
And about 160.
140.
Much, much better from Scott Walters. And if you're in a position where you're pretty much forcing your opponents to take out shots in the range of 138, you're doing something right. However, he's still got to find a double of his own. And he does after a long pause. Scott Walters is 2-0 up in this first set. It'll be an interesting game for both players because you've said to me that these two are really good mates. They travel together, they room together, and that adds a different dynamic to things.
Absolutely. They were at the World Masters together, actually shared a room at the World Masters this year, these two. They were practicing together earlier, and I think it was one of those draws where you joke about the draw in advance, sort of said to each other, oh, we're obviously going to get each other, thinking it won't happen, and then it did. So, yeah, I mean, this is probably a game that neither of them wants, right? Because you've travelled the tour, you've been around together, you've gone to Hungary and Malta and Belgium together, and it's all in pursuit of qualifying for this incredible tournament. And you obviously both want to win it, but you both want to progress as far as you both can. And, you know, if you play each other, of course, it means one of you will win on the Lakeside stage. But it also means that you've got to send your mate packing as well. So, yeah, it's a tough one, and one maybe where you have to put that friendship aside a little bit when we get down to the nitty-gritty.
123.
These two actually both used to play soft tip together as well. They've both represented England in soft tip, and That's really Cliff's background. I know he went to Q School a few years ago, picked up 3 points in the final stage. So there is a very, very good player in Cliff Bryant. He's yet to get on the board in this one. And yeah, a little shout of come on, man. You can see Cliff on his right arm and the base of his right sleeve. He's got the names of his children on there. He's looking to make them proud up there tonight.
Well, it was a 26 dart hold of throw, then it was a better performance in leg 2, and Scott Walters could hold, I should say, in 16. It'll have to be 18. And it is 18. Not the usual route to take out 40, but it will do.
Second set, first line, it's going to lift and throw first.
It's incredible what this stage can do to players who are very solid. These two, you'd say, are low to mid-80s players, and yet Cliff's only averaging 66. It's early pressure. Never actually played each other on the WDF, which is slightly strange considering how busy they are.
Yeah, I think it's one of those weird quirks where they've actually seeding wise been in different halves of the draw a lot of the time, and the days when Cliff's gone well, Scott hasn't got to the stage of getting to a final where they'd play each other. It was actually the Antwerp Open where Cliff was a finalist earlier this year, was where he ran into Cornet Groeneveld, who we saw on Friday night. It was Cliff picking up more big points, but Cornet announcing himself to certainly those in the know to this is a man to watch.
And he's not stopped throwing darts since he got beat.
He's an absolute machine, Cornet. He's, every time I see him, smile on his face, throwing some great darts. And I mean, I'm sure he's a player we're going to see an awful lot more of in the years to come.
Wouldn't be surprised to see him back here next year, not just as a player but a seeded player.
Absolutely. I spoke to him and his manager about his plans for next year the other night. Still some things up in the air, but being back here is high on Cornet's list of priorities.
Treble 17. Could go treble 9 if he wanted. And he does. It's a beautiful dart. Double top.
That would have been a nerve settler there for Cliff Pryor.
Needs minimal fuss. That will do absolutely fine. Cliff Pryor is on the board.
I mean, Scott's decision to do the tour was born out of how close he got to qualifying for the 2022 instalment, played in the qualifier in this very building here at the Lakeside. So, I mean, even the likes of me were able to say on that day they played at the famous Lakeside. Unsurprisingly, didn't go very well.
Yeah, how did you get on?
Heroic 4-0 defeat. But yes, Scott was 5-2 up in that final round of the qualifier, beaten 6-5 by the punk, Johnny Haynes. And actually, the man Johnny played in the first round in 2022, John Scott, is actually here in the crowd tonight, cheering on both Scott and Cliff, and of course Aaron Turner and Mike Gillett as well. Those guys, well-travelled players on the circuit, they all very close, and yeah, John's come down to lend his support along with his manager Terry Andrews. So nice to see them here, and hopefully John is able to find his form again and get back here in 2025.
A very short journey for John's standards. He'll fly anywhere if there's a dartboard.
Exactly. Yeah, as you say, I mean, I heard you say this the other day. I mean, Scott is very much have darts, will travel. He's been invited to certain tournaments. He's decided to go to certain tournaments, and yeah, he tends to pick up points wherever he goes. He's got one of the highest cashing rates, if you want to phrase it that way, in terms of points he's picked up. So yeah, he's a very steady player, Scott, a very reliable player.
We're not going to get a big fish.
40.
We could get the baby fish. Scott Walters on 130. One treble needed for a go at the bullseye.
60. 12 to require 130. 65. 50 require 154. 28.
Very tough visit there for Cliff, missing the big number, not with just the first start, but the second as well. I think it's been the story for both of them so far, is that they're struggling to find exactly what they want with the first start, and then they end up having to work harder to set things up. It's not the most conventional way to take out 65 for 11 bull. But Scott made it work.
Single fought first. He could have tried to persist and hit the 25, but it was too high risk. Could Cliff Pryor get motoring?
60.
Be certainly a way to assert himself.
Well, I'm surprised that he didn't switch after the first start.
It was interesting that Cliff has changed his grip and his throw slightly over the last couple of years, because the way his first start landed on that previous visit was how they used to land all the time. And he's sort of changed it now so that they're a little bit flatter or tend to tip down rather than the tipping up. And yeah, it sort of corrected back the other way, and you could see there was a bit of frustration on his face, but then, yeah, persisted, and unfortunately didn't quite work for him. Two treble visit would leave him with a very takeable finish. Well, that was tough going there. The Sussex man, he has left a finish. Would be the biggest we've seen so far. But it would require all three darts going exactly where he wants them.
Something that's been uncommon for both players in this game.
And remains the case, that 777. It's a good find. Ended up being a fantastic setup there from Cliff. 132 to leave himself double 16. Under no pressure, Scott a country mile behind.
34. 32.
Win this by nearly 300 points. come back for another 3 goes.
It's a good find with the last start. Scott's still not down to a finish.
Under no pressure whatsoever, Cliff Pryor takes out double 16.
Not been a dazzling standard from either man so far in terms of the averages. And this one, we spoke earlier on, Shane McGurk flew into the interval after 2 sets, 6 legs to the good. And you said, oh, well, maybe the break comes at a bad time for him because he's flowing. This one could be a case where the break actually does both guys good, because they'll get 3-4 minutes to just come away from the stage, you know, go backstage, maybe splash a bit of water in their face, get their head in the game, not the game as in Scott Walters, or Steve Douglas, who I believe used to be nicknamed the game as well. But yeah, get their heads back in the game and just reset, come back out, and it looks as though this game could well be finally poised at 1 set apiece. But Cliff Bryant still has to win this second set.
43.
Been too many of those kinds of darts.
83.
Winner of this plays either Peter Machin or the winner of the final game tonight, Mike Gillett or Kai Smith.
Yeah, I think the irony was not lost on Peter. Kai Smith used to be based in South Australia, spent a period down in South Australia near where Peter is, and I don't think the irony was lost on Peter that they've travelled 26 hours around the world to be here, and they could end up playing each other in Pete's first game, Kai's second game. Remains to be seen, of course. Kai will be interested to see how he gets on, going by a new nickname these days. No longer the Prodigy, he's now the Mongrel.
It's not the most complimentary nickname, is it? 66 then for Scott Walters. Can he end it on tops? Yes, he can. Been some good finishing from Scott Walters in this game. If he can get the scoring sorted, then he's got a real chance of making it to round 3.
Yeah, too often Cliff has veered into the right at the start of his visit and then had to correct himself back across.
43.
He does stand right over to the right-hand side of the oche, does Cliff, so I don't know whether he's, in theory, throwing straight from where he is, but not pitching across enough.
40.
That's much more like it, though.
There'll be a 5-minute interval after this leg, and you just wonder whether both players will head straight to the back room and straight onto the board, try and correct what's going wrong.
125.
Just trying to get that grouping back perfect. But, I mean, these guys have both been practicing for a number of hours out in the back, and, you know, sometimes practice board doesn't translate to the real thing. I spoke about that about Jeff Springer in the opening game of the evening. Jeff had been practicing really well, just couldn't get the grouping right against Darren Turner, came unstuck. And in this game, it's been a similar story for both guys. There have been flashes of what they're capable of, but no real consistency.
40.
decent visit. Would have craved another treble 20 to leave the straight, son. Pryor can't keep straight. Scuppers the chance of reeling in the baby fish. You think he may have been caught in two minds between the 20s and the 18s there?
70. 86.
74 left.
He's found joy with these smaller combinations, and Scott will get one. He should get one dart at tops.
30.
Perhaps a little bit too high there, that single 20.
40.
Set dart missed. And Cliff Pryor takes the second set. He was staring down the barrel of a 2-0 deficit, but Cliff Pryor is in this game properly now. Two sets that both players would like to put firmly behind them. They will hope to raise their game when they come back in 5 minutes or so.
The 46th annual Winmore Fleetwood Memorial Las Vegas Open will be held from January the 17th till the 19th. Sin City welcomes you to come and play in the entertainment capital of the world. Men's and women's champions win places at the 2025 World Championships. The Romanian Darts Festival is held from January the 24th till 26th. Join the party in Bucharest, register to play by Wednesday 22nd of January and kickstart the new WDF ranking season in historical Bucharest. The Toto Dutch Open Darts is held from January the 30th till February the 2nd. Registration is open until January the 15th. The Toto Dutch Open Darts is by far the largest darts party in the world that you should not miss. And the men's and women's champions go to Lakeside in December 2025. The Isle of Man International Darts Festival is held from March 6th to 9th. A triple header of darting fun on the Isle of Man with the Silver and Bronze Classic and Masters and the Unranked Open. The Denmark Open and Masters are held from May 2nd to 4th. One of the best run tournaments on the calendar in the beautiful city of Esbjerg, the Golden Denmark Open provides the champions a direct qualification into the 2025 Lakeside World Championships. Along with the Silver Denmark Masters, it's a tournament weekend to look forward to. The Toronto Area Open is held from May 30th till June the 1st. It will be the biggest WDF tournament in Canada in 2025, with the winners of the 501 singles directly qualifying for the Lakeside World Championships. Come join North America's best dart shooters in Toronto. The Swiss Open and Helvetia Open tournaments are held from May 30th till June the 1st. One of the longest running tournaments in Europe invites you to join them in between the most beautiful surroundings. The Swedish Open and Masters takes place from 15th to 17th of August. A popular tournament for many of Europe's best arrowsmiths, the double silver weekend always provides great entertainment. The Latvian Open and Riga Open are held from October 17th to 19th. One of the biggest tournament weekends in the Baltic region is near the end of the 2025 WDF season. An excellent chance to pick up your much-needed points in this silver and bronze weekend. For more information on each of these tournaments, go to the link in the description. A special thanks to our tournament sponsors and partners, Mission, Blaze, Quiff, Great Game, Dart Connect, L-Style and MasterCooler.com.
Welcome back to Lakeside, where it's one apiece between Cliff Pryor and Scott Walters. And if truth be told, they are two sets that will not live long in the memory. Averages of 70 and 68, respectively. Cliff Pryor is seeking to avoid becoming the 4th seed in a row to leave the men's section of the draw. Scott Walters hoping to be a spoiler. Been no real improvement in terms of averages from his first round match against Craig Brown. The scoring has been poor from the game, but Cliff Pryor has allowed him chances. Andrew Sinclair, I mean, how do you assess what we've seen from the first 2 sets of this game?
Yeah, I don't think we can get away from the fact it's been disappointing from both of them, and it's really just been a product of them not being able to throw it straight and consistently straight for long periods. You know, there have been good flashes. Scott's taken out some nice combinations, and Cliff's hit a maximum, but it's been few and far between those nuggets, and they've just not been able to find consistent range and rhythm, and that's meant it's felt very scrappy and very bitty. And I mean, Scott took the first set 3-0, but there was absolutely nothing in it, and that could have feasibly been 3-2 as well if Cliff had taken chances. Look, I think both guys just need to do what Scott's done there and move around the board a little bit more. Just keep giving yourself fresh looks at the board. If it's not working on 20, then you need to look at the 19. But I also would like to see both of them show a little bit more aggression, because these two are very close mates, right? And I can't imagine that the kind of awkwardness they probably feel on stage, but this is for a place in the last 16. You have to show a little bit of something, and even a little celebration, not to aggrandise your opponent, but just to fire yourself up, I think would do both guys the power of good.
You've almost got to show a bit of selfishness on stage.
Absolutely. You're here for a reason, and you're here because you want to win. And that doesn't mean you have to be loud and shouty and particularly leery, but it does mean you're allowed to wear your heart on your sleeve a little bit more.
43, 112.
20. Good setup. We'll come back to try and pin double 12. Pressure applied, but Scott Walters steps up.
And now he's left himself in the madhouse. So Cliff, having been nowhere in this leg, should at least get a dart at the ball. And nowhere near.
Quite typical of this game that it's a nervy start to the third set. And he caress off that. Chance for Cliff to go in front for the first time in this game. Game shot called by Mark O'Meara.
Yeah, I think both guys just need a really good leg. I think to prove to themselves that they're somewhere near their best. You know, the best legs so far, Scott's registered 3 18-dart legs, and they've been his best. But, you know, a 15-darter or less, I think would do wonders for their confidence, because it would give them something to build on and to replicate and look at and say, I just need to keep doing that. Whereas at the moment, you get the sense that both guys are frustrated that what they're doing isn't right, but but they're not seeing what they want to see.
A lot of Cliff's darts are landing above that top wire, and they're unhelpful. And he is being a bit stubborn in trying to chase the treble 20 rather than opting to move around the board.
Absolutely, it's just a bit of board management to say that's not working for me right now. I need to have a look at something else, and that might be the 19s, or if you know Cliff doesn't want to switch down, well maybe you start on 18s for a few visits just to try and find something a little bit different, and then you're giving yourself a fresh look. You can come back to that 20 for set-up shots, or when you feel that you've effectively got your iron a little bit more. Those two are good darts though.
Double top.
That was the sort of leg that I was talking about, both guys needing. If he'd been able to take out that Shanghai, that would have been a 15 dart leg for Cliff, and much more towards what he can do. Might be too close to the wire to be a guide, though.
At least there was room to the left-hand side.
That is now the best leg of the match, a 17 darter there from the Sussex man, Cliff Bryant.
41.
Be interesting to see if Cliff does take up this set. Is Scott able to respond in any meaningful way? We're yet to see evidence of him being able to switch gears. Cliff starting to apply a little bit more pressure now, if he can follow those two in.
140.
Definite improvement. The average has gone up by 3 points since the break.
42.
Scott is pretty much where he was before. There's often one good dart in each visit, but often sandwiched by a couple of ragged ones.
58.
At 140, there's a definite step change for Scott, but he's got to be able to follow it up. You know, those visits have been few and far between, but he's got to stay there.
141.
Two excellent visits from Scott Walters. Cliff Pryor responds.
88. Structure requires 65.
That was wild and wacky. Double 7.
Two scored.
2 scored, which means he's going to have to go 13 or treble to then go back for the bull.
He finds the big number, but doesn't find the bull.
18.
Straight at double 9. Straight into double 9, and Cliff Pryor rattles off 3 legs on the bounce to go into the lead, 2 sets to 1.
Yeah, and a new best.
First line, it's sprinted from first.
And a new best leg of the match there from Cliff, a 16 darter, so he is starting to go through the gears a little bit, but interesting to see if Cliff or Scott, there was some signs in that last leg, a 140 followed by a 145 of what he can do, but then he rather made a hash of 65. So.
60.
Slightly different demeanours in both players. Cliff is now beginning to smile and appreciate some of the comments from the crowd. Looks more relaxed. Scott just looks in a nervous disposition.
Yeah.
40. Carl 104.
Yeah, he's very much under the pump now. Cliff has won 5 of the last 6 legs. And although he won't take out this 104, he very much feels like he's in the driving seat, should I say, not just in this leg, but in the match overall.
Glorious guide.
$16.
Doesn't use it.
161.
It's not normally short on belief, Scott. He's a very confident, affable guy. But you do sense that confidence is starting to evaporate, because for the second game in a row,
14.
it's not just happened. It's not happening for him, but that's happened for Cliff again. Another errant double 16, finding its way into the double 7.
Double top for Scott.
59. 80.
Nearly at the same puncture mark as last time. Double 9, the unlikely saviour for Pryor. Got a bit overexcited with the last start, but there's no question that Cliff Pryor is looking a lot more confident on stage.
Yeah, average hasn't gone up astronomically since the break, but he's certainly looked a lot more confident and assured, and certainly the more dominant player. Not dropped a leg since they came back out from the break. Much better scoring phase in this leg for Scotty.
Much improved from Scott Walters on a potential 14 darter. Could go for the bullseye here. Went for the old school approach instead.
A great last start from Scott, but it might prove for naught if Cliff takes up this 61.
Double 18. Well, if he'd have missed inside, it could have been 3 double 9s in a row, but alas, it is double 18. That now puts Cliff Pryor one leg away from a place in round 3, as he looks to become the first seed to make it through to that stage of the competition.
Yeah, match best 14 darter there for the man from Sussex, who's now won 6 legs on the spin, and looks as though he might well have knocked the stuffing out of Scott Walters.
Cliff knows he's got the darts to win the match, and he's making heavy weather of it.
And Scott, so far, not really putting him under much pressure.
60.
Doesn't want to go down without a fight. Stayed straight, did Cliff.
Odd decision there from Scott to switch back up after the treble 19.
Double 18.
57.
That might be the crucial blow.
80.
Should get one dart. Tops.
For the 7th leg in a row, and the match. Cliff Pryor ultimately was too strong. He has done that for the seeded players. The number 12 is through to the last 16. He knows he'll need a much better performance if he wants to get past Peter Machin or either Mike Gillett or Kai Smith. But just like Scott Walters against Craig Brown on Friday, he's got the job done, albeit not in very flashy circumstances. A battle between two great mates sees Cliff Pryor win 3-1.
Ladies and gentlemen, massive round of applause as he leaves the stage for Scott Walters. And into the 3rd round, Cliff Pryor. Once again, ladies and gents, a 5-minute turnaround, and we will be back 5 minutes time with our next match.
The 46th annual Winmore Fleetwood Memorial Las Vegas Open will be held from January the 17th till the 19th. Sin City welcomes you to come and play in the entertainment capital of the world. Men's and women's champions win places at the 2025 World Championships. The Romanian Darts Festival is held from January the 24th till 26th. Join the party in Bucharest, register to play by Wednesday 22nd of January and kickstart the new WDF ranking season in historical Bucharest. The Toto Dutch Open Darts is held from January the 30th till February the 2nd. Registration is open until January the 15th. The Toto Dutch Open Darts is by far the largest darts party in the world that you should not miss. And the men's and women's champions go to Lakeside in December 2025. The Isle of Man International Darts Festival is held from March 6th to 9th. A triple header of darting fun on the Isle of Man with the Silver and Bronze Classic and Masters and the Unranked Open. The Denmark Open and Masters are held from May 2nd to 4th. One of the best run tournaments on the calendar in the beautiful city of Esbjerg, the Golden Denmark Open provides the champions a direct qualification into the 2025 Lakeside World Championships. Along with the Silver Denmark Masters, it's a tournament weekend to look forward to. The Toronto Area Open is held from May 30th till June the 1st. It will be the biggest WDF tournament in Canada in 2025, with the winners of the 501 singles directly qualifying for the Lakeside World Championships. Come join North America's best dart shooters in Toronto. The Swiss Open and Helvetia Open tournaments are held from May 30th till June the 1st. One of the longest running tournaments in Europe invites you to join them in between the most beautiful surroundings. The Swedish Open and Masters takes place from 15th to 17th of August. A popular tournament for many of Europe's best arrowsmiths, the double silver weekend always provides great entertainment. The Latvian Open and Riga Open are held from October 17th to 19th. One of the biggest tournament weekends in the Baltic region is near the end of the 2025 WDF season. An excellent chance to pick up your much-needed points in this silver and bronze weekend. For more information on each of these tournaments, go to the link in the description. A special thanks to our tournament sponsors and partners, Mission, Blaze, Quiff, Great Game, Dart Connect, L-Style and MasterCooler.com.
tour of the women's competition here at the 2024 Mission WDF Lakeside World Championship. We welcome back to the stage the winner of 18 world ranking titles, the reigning Canterbury Open, John Milky Memorial and Sunshine State Classic champion, Wendy Harper! We now welcome to the stage the winner of 7 world ranking titles this year, the reigning Alice Springs Open, New Zealand Masters and New Zealand Open champion, the number 5 seed, the Renegade, Nicole Renault!
We have a couple of Kiwis kicking off round 2 of the Women's World Championship. 2 players who know each other like the backs of their respective hands. Nicole Renault, one of the most impressive performers on the Lakeside stage last year, came very close to toppling Eileen de Graaf, the number 2 seed. And she has made plenty of progress this year. 7 different titles in New Zealand. She's playing in Australia as well. It's obviously difficult with the travel for her and Wendy and all the others from that region to get over and play darts here. And this is a big opportunity for the number 5 seed. He takes on Wendy Harper, who's nearly 40 years her senior. She defeated the young Hungarian Greta Tekawa yesterday. But it's incredible looking at the head-to-head record of these players. 11 meetings, 10 of them have been in finals. Nicole leads the head-to-head 7-4. Will it be a tale of youth triumphing over experience? Nearly saw that with Sophie McKinley, who defeated Lisa Ashton in the first women's game of this evening. It will be Nicole to kick this game off. Lal Moss alongside me for this one. And Nicole looked like a player last year with real potential. However, she's playing someone who she clearly reveres. There was a big hug between the pair of them as they came onto the stage. Might that work against her in this?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. As you say, it's New Zealand versus New Zealand. I believe the first time we've had that clash in a Women's World Championship, and there's a lot of players from Australia and New Zealand that have come over this year for the Lakeside, which is good to see. And yeah, both of them have got a great opportunity here to get through to a World Championship quarter-final for the first time.
60.
Already a few of Nicole's darts landing a bit precariously on the wire, so that might be something to watch out for as we progress in this game.
Yeah, it's not something that you want to see straight away, is it? Your darts going in funny angles. You want to be, even if you're missing the trebles, as long as they're going in the right angle, then you can work with that. This is looking a lot better.
180.
Well played from Nicole. Only taking her 3 visits to land a perfect maximum.
Show a sportsmanship there between them as well, the high-fiving. Yeah, going back to last year's tournament, Nicole Renaud, a relative unknown in the world of darts, really making her debut and really did catch the eye. That game against Eileen de Graaf, which went all the way, and I think it was an 81 average. She had losing average in that, and I believe that was the highest losing average in a Women's World Championship match since the 2020 final, which goes to show just how well she played, and unfortunately not to go further.
I'm sure Wendy will raise her game compared to how she played against Greta, because she knows that Nicole's going to push her a lot more. That leaves double 10. What a great start from Nicole, a 15 darter, which means it's a ton average to start. Very, very nicely played.
Yeah, looks like she's picked up from where she left off 12 months ago on that Lakeside stage. Very confident start, 15 dart holder throw, and yeah, the treble 14, double 10 with those last 2 darts, very clinical.
41.
Both very proud of where they come from. See the fern leaves on both of their shirts. Nicole's actually wearing socks that have got fern leaves on them. I should point out that was told to me rather than me walking around the room asking to see people's socks. That would be weird behaviour.
Yeah, you've saved yourself there. I'm not going to let you look at mine either.
60.
Yeah, strong start for Nicole. Another dart there, just not sitting at the right angle for her, but it does find the treble.
100.
And I had the pleasure of chatting with Nicole on my podcast last week ahead of Lakeside. She spoke very well. We talked about Lakeside last year and how it was always a big goal of hers to get over here and play. And it was only the 2nd time that she's made the trip to Europe to play darts. She played the World Masters in 2022, got to the last 16, and that really was the catalyst for her to push on and try and get into this tournament. It was being in and around the top ladies players in the game and seeing that she could compete with them as well. And yeah, got to Lakeside last year, and she's kicked on since then. It looks like she's had a lot of success in her tournaments back home, and she's even been competing on the DPNZ tour, which I was surprised to see, because we don't see many of the ladies players go into that circuit, but it just goes to show that she wants to push her game as much as she can.
Well, I think it showcases a level of confidence, the fact that she can play against the men, and she's played against some of the very best that New Zealand have to offer. Torquart holder in Hopai Puhar, Ben Robb, who we've seen play the World Championship at Alexandra Palace.
100.
Fair play to her.
Yeah, that's the toughest test you can get in New Zealand, playing those guys. And I did ask her as well the obvious question, have you thought about entering the women's series or coming over here more often? And she said, you know, something that one day she would love to do, but it's such a big commitment to just up sticks from New Zealand and come over here, and that's why not many players are able to do it. Oh, that's 57 points on the floor there. A harsh fallout. Wendy Harper with a 170. Could really do the damage here. Not going to happen this time though.
No female player has ever taken out 170 on this stage.
Wow.
Veronica Ehouse still has the record. 164 against Beau Greaves a couple of years ago. It's been a good start from Nicole, but I wonder if there is that little seed of doubt. The way that she had that bounce out, it's 57 points on the floor. Some of them on the top wire of the treble 20 have looked very precarious, to say the least.
Yeah, I think that is the case. It just gives you a little bit of doubt, I guess. And yeah, just not as strong this leg. Obviously, we had the 15 darter in the first leg, but this is for a potential 20 or 21 dart leg. Might go double-double. No, she went for the treble 12 there to leave the double 18.
66.
It's a brave way to go with Wendy on 90 herself,
Yeah,
eschewing the shot at the bullseye.
she's gone the 18s as well. Oh, what a find that is The double six, has a think about it. Yeah, shows us that's a wide, that one. So coming back for double 12 to double her lead, Nicole Renaud, in this first set. Not a great guard to work with. One dart left, double six.
12.
Can't find it. Scrappy second leg this one, and as much as Nicole was very impressive in that first leg, we could very soon be level, but not with darts like that.
I'm not too sure if Wendy was trying to go 2 for double 2. We'll never know.
Well, there's only one way for this, double 3, right at the bottom of the board.
9.
Can't find it.
Well, this has ruined what was a fabulous start for Nicole.
Yeah. Goes inside. So it's 1, double 1. Takes a deep breath. There's the 1, now the double. Gets it right in the corner. And that is 2-0 to Nicole Renaud. Very much a mixed bag in them opening 2 legs, but she's won them both. She's 2-0 up and now throwing to clean sweep this set and go 1-0 up.
41.
Winner here set to take on the winner of Dieter Hedman and Kirsty Hutchinson.
85.
Yeah, that should be a good one. I think that's tomorrow night on the order of play. Kirsty disappointed with her performance last night, but she gets a chance to put it right tomorrow and going up against Dieter Hedman, who is one of the legends of the Lakeside. We saw Lisa Ashton in action earlier tonight, but Dieter, someone that's won so many titles, hundreds of titles. We could be here all for next week talking about what she's won, but this is the one that eludes her, and she gets her campaign underway tomorrow.
Kirsty's exact words to me in the hotel last night were, "Mate, that's an hour of your life you'll never get back."
Yeah, she said something a bit stronger to me, which I can't repeat on the broadcast. But
and I said, "Don't be silly. It was only 52 minutes."
Not that you were counting.
105.
I think that'll be a much better game tomorrow. Good adjustment there with the last one to sneak a treble 20 in there, and 100-point lead, working her way towards the finish. And yeah, couldn't ask for a better start than a 3-0, which looks to be on the cards at the moment in this first set.
43.
Wendy Harper not quite finding her range on that treble. Down to a finish, 1-2-6. Depending on what Wendy Harper leaves here, if she can get to a finish. May go on the 19s, may start on the 20s.
42.
Yeah, she can go her own route now here. Wendy not down to a finish. Starting upstairs, sensible play. No, we'll come back with a look at that 68. There's a bit of pressure on it.
Certainly is. Choice of 16 or 8s.
It's not a bad guide for the double 16.
52.
Not far off.
Wendy required 46.
Wendy's also got choices on 46. Could go 14, 6 or 10. Sensible to go to that side of the board with 6 and 10 next to each other.
Just outside, can she find it with her second one? She can.
Game to the third leg. Wendy Harper.
And just like that, this set now back on throw. It looked like it was going to go to Renault 3-0.
Wendy to throw first. Game on.
But Harper's sticking in there and taking her chance. Cleans up the 46. Now she'll want to take this to a deciding leg, and if she can pinch that deciding leg, then she'll be looking good.
83.
Well, I mentioned the head-to-head record. It's 7-4 in Nicole's favour. And I think the recent record suggests that Nicole has been growing in stature, because she's won 5 of the last 6.
60.
Wendy defeating Nicole in the final of the Ted Clements Memorial last year. A title that Nicole wrestled back from Wendy as recently as 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think the last 2 weekends before Lakeside there have been
100.
WDF events in New Zealand, and Nicole's picked up a couple of titles, so she's coming over here in some good form, with some winning form behind her. And I think she's got 17 titles now in the WDF, just one behind
100.
Wendy Harper, who's got 18. And she's done it in a relatively short space of time. I think her first one was in 2021, and yeah, she's a player that's we've seen pick up multiple titles year after year now and become a very dominant player in New Zealand.
59.
This is the penultimate game of this evening's session. We'll round things off by going back to round 1 in the men's tournament. Another player who's made the journey from down under, Kai Smith, whose dad Raymond has been in the commentary box over the weekend. Had the day off today so he can practice with Kai. And he'll be taking on Mike Gillett of Wales.
Yeah, a bit of history in that one as well. Kai Smith becoming the first father and son to play at the Lakeside. They've obviously achieved that with Raymond Ali Pallier a couple of years ago, and Brandon Weaning, who's going to be playing later on this week as well. His dad Wayne Weaning playing at the Lakeside many times before. They're going to be the second father and son. So yeah, a bit of history this week. This set, all of a sudden, it hangs in the balance. It was looking one-way traffic, Nicole Renault 2-0 up, but Harper's got the first look at a finish here. Not going to go this 1-5-8, but well until that last start in the 1. Looked like she was going to level, but 1-3-8, not going to go.
43.
Drifts into the 1 just like Harper did, so again this one could go either way.
Down for treble 19. Wendy may be unable to hold a throw after the break in the previous leg.
Yeah, she got herself right back into it, but if this 95 goes, and what a first start that is, double 19 for the set. Finds it.
Classy finish. It's never an easy check-out 95, because you know in all likelihood if you hit the treble 19 you're going to have to go for double 19. She could have opted to split it, but showcases a level of confidence at least.
Yeah, sometimes on the 95 we'll see a player go for the ball, 25-20 for the ball. But yeah, I think if you're feeling confident about your game, you're going for that treble 19 to give yourself the 2 darts at a double, albeit it's the double 19, which not the most common double hit on the board, but yeah, it just shows that Renault is confident in her game, that she's not going to use the ball route. She's going to go for those trebles straight away and give herself the chance of 2 darts at that double. And yeah, the first set on the board.
60.
And 1 set away, halfway to the finish line, to that place in the quarterfinals.
Two well-thrown darts.
121.
Couldn't keep the line, but it's a good visit from Wendy.
Yeah, she'll need a response here in this start of the second set. It is her throw this set, so if she is broken in this leg, then you could see Renault go and run away with it, go 2-0 up, and it'll be a long way back then for Harper. So yeah, an important leg this one. Just to wrestle back some of the control. Drifts into that treble one.
26.
Yeah, you saw her reaction there, not happy with that one.
Been all or nothing from Wendy in this fifth leg of the match. First leg of the second set.
60.
Early signs were incredibly promising for Nicole. It looked like we were going to get a really good scoring display. It's dried up a bit.
85.
Yeah, the game's become a little bit scrappy, but she did get that first set, making hard work of it, but she's getting towards that finishing line. And Wendy Harper, a very tough opponent as well. They, as you mentioned, they obviously know each other very well, played each other many times before. But Wendy Harper is someone that got that win on the Lakeside stage yesterday, got that winning feeling for the first time, coming back up here again tonight. She knows what it's all about.
59.
And had a recent trip across over to Europe for the World Masters, the World Open, got to the quarterfinals of the World Open, so that was one of her best runs she's had overseas. Beat some good players, had a 138 finish in one of the games. She had an 80 average, and if she can produce that this week, then she's going to be a handful for a lot of players. But it's one thing producing it on the floor, another thing going up on that stage and doing it.
Well, she actually produced that 80 average against her opponent from yesterday, so she may have taken that confidence into the game with Greta Takawa.
Signs of frustration there for Renault, that visit. Bit of breathing space here for Wendy Harper to get this opening leg of the second set. As I say, it's one that she needs. Not going to take the 120.
43.
That's made it a little bit more awkward next time. Not going to be a straight 20 for tops.
Nicole's just desperate for a treble.
100.
Well, she finally gets one. It might be too little too late. Lovely dart. Two pops at double 10.
To get back on track. Has to move slightly across the oki there. And she gets it. Great adjustment with that second dart at the double 10. Did the same thing with the double 18 earlier on in the game. Someone that obviously can use a close dart and work their way into the double. And that's
61.
Yeah, tough start to the leg for Renault. A bounce out, costing her potentially 60 points on the floor.
Might need to go and sharpen those points, because that's not the first time she's lost potentially 60 points to the floor.
81.
But that double 10 from Wendy Harper, a textbook example of being able to use the guide.
Definitely. Yeah, it's not just about gripping the darts in the treble, but if you can grip the darts close to the double and then pin one with your last or your second, then you're laughing.
36.
It's starting to unravel a little bit here for Renault in this set. Can Harper take advantage of it? She's got that opening leg.
85.
And just going about her business, really.
She's not missing by big distances, which is probably more frustrating.
Yeah,
Literally millimetres away from 100 points difference.
that's what this game's all about. It's all about millimetres and fractions. You could be the width of a wire away from winning a title and going out. It's yeah, what makes this game so good to watch. And yeah, for players, so frustrating at times as well.
45.
Another trebleless visit there for Renault. And Harper got the darts really in this leg, but needs to make the most of it. Good adjustment with his second dart. Third dart couldn't quite follow it, but Harper here want to be leaving a finish. She's going to need a treble to do that.
13.
Well, the door's open here for Renault to get back in this set.
100.
Stayed in the treble. The first two darts kind of typified her performance so far. Many of them well thrown, just not finding the target with enough regularity. Wendy could look at the bull here to leave a two-darter.
100. 137.
Opted against. Nicole might look at the bull here.
Yeah. Oh, that's another 60 on the floor. That's got to be frustrating for her again.
When you require 101.
Could make a big difference, that 60 points.
Remember Keegan Brown v Mark Webster in the Grand Slam a few years ago?
Yeah, yeah.
Not quite as bad as that, but
no,
not far off.
No, hopefully it doesn't get as bad.
89.
But that's a dart missed for a 2-0 lead in this set. Renault, a 102 to get us back on level terms. Probably be 14s, all the ball went for the 14s.
54.
So 3 darts, double 6 here for Wendy Harper.
When you require 12.
And to do to Renault what Renault did to her in the first set, go 2-0 up.
Not the first time she's missed double 6 by a distance. Always the danger of mucking around on the smaller doubles.
It's Renault here, 48, chooses the double 16. This for 1-1.
16.
Another dart lost. Not sure if it was in the double or not.
Hard to tell from here, but it looked close.
Yeah.
If it wasn't in, it was very close.
That is definitely in. Wendy Harper 2-0 up now in this set, and she's turned the game around. It looked like it was going one way, Renault getting that first set. But fair play, what a comeback this has been. She's took the first 2 legs of this set, now throwing to take us to that third set.
There's another trebleless visit. Probably the best trebleless visit you can throw.
You can't get much closer than that without a treble, but at this moment you've just got to keep going, and as much as it's easy to say that, there's no breaks in this game, you are playing to a finish, you've got to regroup as quickly as you can, and for Renault, she's going to need to do it quickly, otherwise we are going to be going to that third set. This is much better.
Oh, she's got to switch, surely.
Well, she
140.
it looked a bit loose in the board, them trebles. But the 140 will give her a bit of confidence here.
Those 2 darts in the treble came as close to falling off as some players after falling off the stage, because apparently it's not big enough, according to some onlookers.
I think there's plenty of room on there for me.
100.
Great visit there for Harper. Gets herself back into the leg. But Renault will get down to a finish first. She will switch this time.
177.
To leave double 12. Great visit for Renault.
Exquisitely placed, and she's poised to break in potentially 13 darts. Much improved this time round.
Yeah, she had the 15 darter in the first leg. Can we have a 13 darter here?
Double 12.
12.
Not going to go. 1-3-3. A tricky finish, this one. You need 2 trebles and a double.
What you don't need is that.
Absolutely not. So it's double 6 for Renault to regain some order here.
39. Victoria required 12.
Pins it with the second dart. Renault breaking the Harper throw. Now throwing to take us to a decider in this set, and what a big leg that would be. 2-0 or 1-1.
83.
Now it's Wendy's turn to suffer the misfortune.
Fortunes have changed there. Careful.
Yeah, that box underneath the dartboard is the lighting box, so you don't want to look directly into it. Nicole must have thought then, finally it's happened to Wendy, and then it happens to her on the visit after.
It's just your luck, isn't it?
41.
We've got a decent lead in this leg. I want to find a couple more trebles just to make sure of it.
60.
And again, that last dart, getting close to the treble, not quite there. Harper some way back. Looks like we are going to go to that 5th leg, and it could be decisive.
Been an awful leg for Wendy.
100.
Good visit for Renault, and she's had the bounce outs, but it doesn't look to have affected her. You've not seen some big reactions like we might see from some players, darts falling out the board, waving the hands around. She's kept her cool, really, and she could get the rewards very soon if she can get this leg and get the next one. It's job done, and on to the next round.
There have been gentle grimaces from Renault when she's had darts falling out.
100.
No histrionics. She's kept her calm, and she's nearly 300 points ahead.
Yeah, and she's going to be coming back for that 78.
100. Victoria requires 78.
To get us back on level terms, it will be treble 18. Now 20 for tops. Can she work her way above that dart? She can. It's 2-all. And this set is going to a last leg. Nice sportsmanlike round of applause there from Wendy Harper. the end of that leg. I don't think she'll want to be given a round of applause at the end of this leg, because that means she will be heading home and out of the tournament.
Exactly.
100.
In the tricky task of hold or you're eliminated.
Yeah, it's now or never. But Renaud, she's kept her composure. Had some decent visits in that last leg to get herself down to a finish.
140.
Cleaned up the 78 nicely, and yeah, if she can have another leg like that, she'll be going through to the quarterfinals.
It's almost been a game of thirds for the number 5 seed. Started off very strongly, a very ropey middle,
21.
but it's looking like a happy ending, especially as Wendy is the latest to suffer a bounce out.
Yeah, she's lost the dart there. Renaud will want to take advantage of that, put in a big score here.
25.
And she has the bounce out.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Nice find there with the last dart, and got a reasonable lead here. Harper is going to have to find a few troubles here to get back into it. Can she work with that first dart?
60.
Not quite. So Renaud getting close to the finishing line, starting downstairs. Good start.
Stick with the 19s.
69.
At least that's what she tried to do.
Crowd certainly enjoying that visit.
45.
Now, can she get herself down to a finish and get this one done? That's a good dart to work with.
85.
Just goes astray, but she's down to a finish, Renaud, 101. She will come back for it. Harper now going to need to find at least one treble. Not going to get down to a finish.
30.
So it's 6 darts for Nicole Renaud to win this battle of the New Zealanders and book her place in the quarterfinals. Not going to go.
36.
Makes a bit of a mess of it, leaves 65. Harper now, all she can do is put some pressure on when Renaud returns. She'd love a treble now. Not that one, but she does get down to a finish, but it's 65 here.
65.
Renaud starts on the 19s. And it's double 16 to book her place in the quarterfinals.
In the battle of the New Zealanders,
49.
for Renaud not yet over the line.
When you require 149.
It's a long-range finish. It's a big ask for Wendy Harper. It's now impossible. And that just adds insult to injury.
39.
Over to you, Renaud.
She's used to winning. She's used to winning against Wendy Harper. And she has beaten her compatriot in the World Championship. An often frustrating game of darts for both players, suffering multiple bounce outs. But ultimately, Nicole Renaud showed why she's probably regarded as a dark horse in the women's tournament. Only averaging 68, but there were extenuating circumstances for that, with lots of darts dropping onto the floor. Wendy Harper's had a much better tournament than last year, but it's Nicole through to the quarters.
Let's get it first of all for Wendy Harper. And the first lady into the quarterfinals, Nicole Renault. Well, ladies and gentlemen, 4 games down, we have 1 game to go. Before we introduce that, 5 minutes time, a reminder that the dartboards, the match used dartboards signed by all players in this session, a couple are still available at the marketing stand. Head out there to the merchandise guys. First come, first served for the match used dartboards signed by all the players. £75 gets you a bit of Lakeside memorabilia. And we will be back in 5 minutes with our final match, Mike Gillett against Kai Smith.
The 46th annual Winmore Fleetwood Memorial Las Vegas Open will be held from January the 17th till the 19th. Sin City welcomes you to come and play in the entertainment capital of the world. Men's and women's champions win places at the 2025 World Championships. The Romanian Darts Festival is held from January the 24th till 26th. Join the party in Bucharest, register to play by Wednesday 22nd of January and kickstart the new WDF ranking season in historical Bucharest. The Toto Dutch Open Darts is held from January the 30th till February the 2nd. Registration is open until January the 15th. The Toto Dutch Open Darts is by far the largest darts party in the world that you should not miss. And the men's and women's champions go to Lakeside in December 2025. The Isle of Man International Darts Festival is held from March 6th to 9th. A triple header of darting fun on the Isle of Man with the Silver and Bronze Classic and Masters and the Unranked Open. The Denmark Open and Masters are held from May 2nd to 4th. One of the best run tournaments on the calendar in the beautiful city of Esbjerg, the Golden Denmark Open provides the champions a direct qualification into the 2025 Lakeside World Championships. Along with the Silver Denmark Masters, it's a tournament weekend to look forward to. The Toronto Area Open is held from May 30th till June the 1st. It will be the biggest WDF tournament in Canada in 2025, with the winners of the 501 singles directly qualifying for the Lakeside World Championships. Come join North America's best dart shooters in Toronto. The Swiss Open and Helvetia Open tournaments are held from May 30th till June the 1st. One of the longest running tournaments in Europe invites you to join them in between the most beautiful surroundings. The Swedish Open and Masters takes place from 15th to 17th of August. A popular tournament for many of Europe's best arrowsmiths, the double silver weekend always provides great entertainment. The Latvian Open and Riga Open are held from October 17th to 19th. One of the biggest tournament weekends in the Baltic region is near the end of the 2025 WDF season. An excellent chance to pick up your much-needed points in this silver and bronze weekend. For more information on each of these tournaments, go to the link in the description. A special thanks to our tournament sponsors and partners, Mission, Blaze, Quiff, Great Game, Dart Connect, L-Style and MasterCooler.com.
We return to the men's first round here at the 2024 Mission WDF Lakeside World Championship. And we welcome to the stage a man from Australia, the former Sunshine State Classic and South Australian Classic champion, Munro Kai Smith!
Our final game this evening sees Australia take on Wales, which has got a bit of a rugby theme about it. Kai Smith has had Lakeside in his diary for over a year now. Winner of the gold-ranked South Australian Classic last year. But it's fair to say he doesn't come into this match with a huge amount of match practice. He's played in very few tournaments this year, so you do wonder what kind of shape he's in. Having spoken to Raymond, his dad, one of the co-commentators this week at Lakeside, he feels that he's in pretty decent shape coming into this, but it is an adjustment that Smith has to make. He's played on the big stage before. Him and Raymond were the first ever father and son duo playing a world championship at Alexandra Palace. It's an all left-handed affair with the Welshman Mike Gillett, one of the big nomads of the WDF system. A finalist this year in the Helvetia Open. Andrew Sinclair with me in the commentary box for this one. Mike Gillett certainly has more experience. Do you think that experience is going to come to the fore tonight?
You would think so. I think, you know, Mike's been playing some good stuff this year in spells, and I certainly think the run to the Helvetia Open final earlier this year was a real breakthrough for Mike, because he'd got to 8 semi-finals before that, and it seemed that he got to the business end of the tournament and then he ran out of steam. And then on that occasion he got to the final and actually had darts to beat Stefan Belmont in that final. Ultimately lost 6-5, and obviously we now know Stefan going off to Alexandra Palace. So in terms of recent form and more experience, I think, yeah, Mike definitely has the pedigree, and I think he comes into this one as favourite. But as Raymond said, he thinks Kai's in pretty good nick, and I actually saw Kai wire a 9-darter in the players' bar at the hotel the other night when he was practicing. So the ability is definitely there for the young man, who used to go by the Prodigy nickname and now rechristened himself the Mongrel.
Yeah, I'd be interested to find out the thought process behind that. I think if I was choosing between Prodigy and Mongrel, I'd go for the former. Each to their own.
96.
It's actually a very interesting title victory for Kai when it was that South Australian Classic back February of last year. The Australian tournaments, most of them, they play a round robin to begin, which is very unfamiliar for most ranking events within Europe that Mike would be used to. But Kai actually lost 3 of his group games that day and came through his group as the lowest ranked qualifier in the group, and then was far better in the knockout stages, beating another young Australian, Josh Kime, in the final. But yeah, it was one of those strange ones for certainly players based in Europe, the idea that you could lose 3 times on one day and still end up booking your place at the World Championships.
Taking advantage of the quirky systems we've got.
60. Mike, you require 44.
Mike looking to break in the first leg. 4 tops. Classic route for a left-hander. Uses the guide. And first blood to Mike Gillett, who has plenty of support here, not just for the crowd-pleasing walk-on of Mr. Brightside, but as we mentioned earlier, part of the Turner family. And it could be a really good family affair, with Aaron winning at Lakeside for the first time in his career, overcoming Jeff Springer in our first match of the night.
Yeah, Mike already looks a lot more assured than he did on the stage last year. He was in the opening game on Sunday afternoon last year, took on Liam Mandel-Lawrence of Germany, who's 6th seed this time around. Mike, was a very nervy performance from him. He was incredibly frustrated. But he won't be frustrated with that. His fellow Welshman, Garen Roderick, calling in the first 180 of the game. Mike's very much settled in this one.
He left that game against Liam Mandel-Lawrence last year with only a 72 average. Now, I don't think the pace of Mandel-Lawrence helped him, but he didn't do himself justice either. Much better player than he showed. You might see another 11 darter. Saw one from Cyprian Guiballs in the first match today. Double 16.
Yeah, he does look very sharp here, Mike, which is good for him. And, you know, I think it was incredibly frustrating for Mike last year, not just because of how he played, but to be one of the most active touring players on the circuit, to have worked hard, invested the time, effort, resources into getting here, which isn't easy for Mike, because he's actually... Mike's a school teacher. Yeah, Mike's actually a business and economics teacher down in Southampton. So, yeah, it was tough for Mike to be able to pick the weekends that he can make work around the school timetable, and, you know, to have committed all that time and that effort and have had the build-up. There was a piece on the local TV on the BBC for him last year, and then for it all to just not happen, I think that probably hurt more than the way he played. But he's back here this year, and he's certainly been the more impressive through the first two legs.
Wonder if he's back at school tomorrow.
Well, I'm not sure. We might have to ask him after this one.
97.
Not the easiest career in which to get time off, so must have some pretty flexible employers.
Yeah, it's probably past most of his students' bedtime, but I'm sure they might have stayed up to cheer on. Gilly, who has played for Wales in the WDF system previously.
137.
He looks incredibly sharp here, Mike Gillett. Lovely grouping, back-to-back 137s, but he looks confident. And a little nod of acknowledgement that
26.
it's all going so right for him, and it's not for Kai.
45.
Well, that offers Kai a slight opening, but if he wins this, it's only a hold of throw. It's been a slow start for the mongrel.
50. Mike, you require 156. 41.
Nice adjustment there from Kai. Shuffle down the oche to find a straight ton. With Mike on 115.
Not sure about that route personally.
Mike, you require 88.
It's a good first start from Kai.
Double 7.
74.
Kai's first starts at double goes straight. Double top for the first set. Double 10.
46.
And he comes inside both times. Will Kai go straight for this double 7 or elect to try and play it safe?
He went aggressive, then had to split, but he's on the board. That's pretty aggressive from Mike in response.
You mentioned Kai being part of that first father-son duo in the same championships. On the PDC side, he's one of two sons of fathers who played on the Lakeside stage before this time round. His father Raymond played on this famous old stage back in 2017, and then the other is his compatriot Brandon Weaning, who will be in action tomorrow. Man nicknamed the Python. He's here with his dad Wayne, who's a fountain of knowledge of darts. Great man to have a chat with and a pint of Guinness with. Wayne played here 7 times in the 80s and 90s, had an extensive career playing for Australia, and hasn't changed an awful lot from the picture of him in the players' bar at the back there. I think the beard's now grey rather than the black that it used to be, but otherwise Wayne still looks pretty much the same. And it's nice to have Raymond with Kai and Wayne here with Brandon as well, for them to both celebrate that historic feat together.
Dads and lads outing at Lakeside. Double 10 for Mike Gillett.
120.
Well, that would have kicked Kai when he's down. Only averaging 65 right now. It's been a harsh introduction to life on the Lakeside stage.
100. Mike Ryan 20.
Usually in the wheelhouse of a left-hander is double 10. And he's shown exactly why. A comfortable opening set for Mike Gillett. Missed a couple of darts in the previous leg. Look at him. Look at him demanding more noise, demanding more cheers. You may have heard someone in the crowd then start singing Gillette, the best a man can get. I can promise you it's Gillett, not Gillette, or Gilet.
Yeah, he's missing a trick there, though.
Yeah, we've seen players sometimes bring on items or merchandise. We saw the inflatable crop from Danny Porter. The own brand of Mike Gillett's Gilet or razor blade.
Well, it's an idea for him in the next round if he's got time.
Scoring's been excellent.
100.
Down to 1-2-1 after 9.
Well, I had a conversation with Martin Turner earlier, and both Martin and Mike use equipment from the Eagle Darts team. And Martin had been saying that both of them, since getting their new equipment from Eagle, had been playing an awful lot better, putting high points on their averages. And that's on full display here from Mike, and actually was on display from Martin last night. Played really well, but came up short against the Riddler, Brian Raman.
133.
Better from Kai. It might not mean anything, although Mike misses the big 9. We'll probably go 5 for double 4 here. Making his mind up. Just double 4.
17. Uruguay 146.
Very much an outside chance of Kai Smith nicking this leg.
Uruguay 8.
It's a little bit easy for Mike at the minute.
Absolutely. A man who I've just received a text about from a man who knows this Lakeside stage well, and he knows Mike well from international duty, Mr. Nick Kenny, who said, "It's been a classy start from Michael, the nicest man in darts." A fair few players have claimed to that moniker, the nicest man in darts. I've heard that said of a few people, but definitely true of school teacher, Mr. Gillett.
I'm going to put you on the spot. You know darts. Who is the nicest man in darts?
Well, I'd have to defer to you, Mr. McCarthy. I'll go with you on that occasion. You are the nicest man in darts.
I wasn't fishing for a compliment, but I'll take it. Thank you very much.
But no, good to see Nick playing some good darts again at the moment.
95.
He'll be playing at Alexandra Palace, looking to save his tour status.
Absolutely. Wish him all the best with that, Nicky boy.
100. 84.
Even those loose starts from Mike are being rescued by really good ones.
Absolutely. Just been consistently peppering that treble.
100.
Probably hasn't been, but that'll make him feel better. That'll give him a spring in his step.
Absolutely. It's a very attractive 67 finish.
Tiger requires 67.
Double top.
47. Tiger require 122.
Dragged low, and you could see from the reaction and action of Kai Smith. Can still be done. Treble 20 in the bullseye. But it's much harder. Wrong side of the wire.
34. Tiger require 20.
Relative off leg this for Mike Gillett.
Kai
Kai Smith steps in, takes double 10. It's the first leg in the match where Mike's not had a dart at double.
99.
Straight back with a very steady visit of 99. He looks much more comfortable on this stage, Mike, which is good to see. Perhaps taking confidence from how his brother-in-law got on earlier on.
140.
Over to the 18s.
98.
Mike averaging around 91 at the moment, which is 1 point short of the highest first round average we've seen. That was from Shane McGurk, and the highest overall was from Shane McGurk in round 2. Probably the most impressive performer so far.
Absolutely.
96.
Man from Monaghan looks like he's going to be a hard man to stop.
99.
Not looking for the bullseye to leave 130. Not the worst leave in the world. Double 12. That wasn't by design. Just knocked Mike out of rhythm. Not that it matters.
Now, relatively short order, Kai has got to try and stay in this match, because if he doesn't win this leg, it's good night Vienna.
45.
He's done a fantastic job with his board management in this one, Mike. Finding the treble 20 with regularity, but not afraid to come down the bottom of the board.
60. 100. 134.
Do see more and more players these days opt against going for the 18s on likes of 302 or 305. So if anything, hitting the treble makes the shot trickier. Have to get 2 trebles at least to leave a finish.
37.
Late release there from Kai.
Yeah. Not the visit he needed to put Mike under pressure.
82.
You mentioned it earlier, a very astute point, Mr. McCarthy, that the odd loose dart that Mike has thrown in this, he has managed to correct with a treble the following visit, whether it's a switch down the board or a slight flick to the left or right. Played very well here.
Straight at double 19. And straight into round 2. Not many heralded Mike Gillett coming into this tournament, but he has let the rest of the field know he's here. A 92 average in round 1 from the Welshman. An excellent display on the Lakeside stage. Kai Smith gave himself too much to do. He didn't get enough chances at the outer ring. Comfortable enough for Mike Gillett. He goes through to round 2, where he's going to face another Australian in the form of Peter Meiji. That's it for this evening, but we'll be back for more Lakeside darts at 1 o'clock UK time tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, a massive round of applause first of all for Kai Smith. And into the second round, Mike Gillett. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that does bring to a conclusion our evening session on this Sunday night at the Lakeside. Have you all enjoyed yourselves? Who's coming back tomorrow? A good few. Excellent. Well, the ones that are coming back, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Everyone else, thank you all very much for being part of the Lakeside experience this Sunday night. We hope you have enjoyed yourselves, and we look forward to seeing you sometime again. Thank you all very much indeed. God bless. Safe journey home. Thank you. Good night.
The 46th annual Winmore Fleetwood Memorial Las Vegas Open will be held from January the 17th till the 19th. Sin City welcomes you to come and play in the entertainment capital of the world. Men's and women's champions win places at the 2025 World Championships. The Romanian Darts Festival is held from January the 24th till 26th. Join the party in Bucharest, register to play by Wednesday 22nd of January and kickstart the new WDF ranking season in historical Bucharest. The Toto Dutch Open Darts is held from January the 30th till February the 2nd. Registration is open until January the 15th. The Toto Dutch Open Darts is by far the largest darts party in the world that you should not miss. And the men's and women's champions go to Lakeside in December 2025. The Isle of Man International Darts Festival is held from March 6th to 9th. A triple header of darting fun on the Isle of Man with the Silver and Bronze Classic and Masters and the Unranked Open. The Denmark Open and Masters are held from May 2nd to 4th. One of the best run tournaments on the calendar in the beautiful city of Esbjerg, the Golden Denmark Open provides the champions a direct qualification into the 2025 Lakeside World Championships. Along with the Silver Denmark Masters, it's a tournament weekend to look forward to. The Toronto Area Open is held from May 30th till June the 1st. It will be the biggest WDF tournament in Canada in 2025, with the winners of the 501 singles directly qualifying for the Lakeside World Championships. Come join North America's best dart shooters in Toronto. The Swiss Open and Helvetia Open tournaments are held from May 30th till June the 1st. One of the longest running tournaments in Europe invites you to join them in between the most beautiful surroundings. The Swedish Open and Masters takes place from 15th to 17th of August. A popular tournament for many of Europe's best arrowsmiths, the double silver weekend always provides great entertainment. The Latvian Open and Riga Open are held from October 17th to 19th. One of the biggest tournament weekends in the Baltic region is near the end of the 2025 WDF season. An excellent chance to pick up your much-needed points in this silver and bronze weekend. For more information on each of these tournaments, go to the link in the description. A special thanks to our tournament sponsors and partners, Mission, Blaze, Quiff, Great Game, Dart Connect, L-Style and MasterCooler.com.